This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Gardner is accused of peddling massive quantities of cocaine into Georgia. More challenges to the explanations for the grid failures coming from BPL and BGC. And the government said to be plotting the way forward with medical cannabis. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, August 6th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking with Dr. Christine Parker Curling about her book, Beyond the Knowledge, Power Steps for Doctoring with a Human Touch. And later in business, we are talking with Debbie Deal with the Bahamian Contractors Association, talking about the appliances, the electronics in your home that are pulling the most power and most energy, and what you can do about that, and more. That's all ahead on this Thursday. But first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, convicted drug trafficker Jonathan Eric Player Gardner hit with additional drug charges by United States officials after he was indicted in Georgia over accusations that he peddled cocaine into Atlanta and other areas for years. A June 9th indictment, which was unsealed yesterday in the Northern District of Georgia, charged Gardner with two federal counts relating to drug importation and conspiracy offenses. A press release issued by the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Northern District of Georgia about the indictment revealed that from about December 2022 to May 2026, Gardner allegedly supplied large quantities of cocaine to drug trafficking organizations in Georgia and elsewhere. It said Gardner could allegedly 2,000 kilograms at a time, adding that when the cocaine arrived in metro Atlanta, the drug ring allegedly distributed the drugs to multiple states. More than 20 alleged members of the drug trafficking organization were previously charged, and 13 have pleaded guilty. U.S. officials labeled Gardner as a priority target. Former BPL CEO Whitney Hasty and former Minister of Public Works Desmond Bannister rejecting explanations from BPL and Bahamas Grid Company, BGC, who have blamed aging equipment, unsanctioned connections, and summer temperatures for challenges with the leading to repeated power outages on New Providence. Bannister said he's become concerned by the possibility that the requisite maintenance is not being undertaken. BPL said a blackout in New Providence last week was caused by a fire that was a result of a suspected underground cable fault at the Blue Hills Pipe. 2 years ago, the Davis administration announced an agreement with the newly formed BGC in which the company would take over the upgrade and maintenance of New Providence's transmission and distribution network. The deal was said to be part of a larger energy reform effort, which the government said was required to right-size BPL. BGC, a special-purpose vehicle, 40% of which is owned by BPL and the remaining shares held by private investors. BPL's 40% stake in BGC was to be facilitated by the transfer of its existing transmission and distribution assets on New Providence, which were valued at $100 million to the new company. The agreement also included a 25-year deal with Island Grid Solutions, a subsidiary of U.S.-based Pike Corporation, for the upgrade and management of the grid. However, IGC has pulled out of the deal. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville says that the government is still plotting the way forward with medical marijuana. He says they have signed a contractual agreement with a company called MetRC, which is providing the digital platform for the entire cannabis industry, the licensing platform to monitor cannabis from seed to sale, and monitoring all the various different licenses. The Bahamas Cannabis Authority is the regulatory body established to oversee the nation's legal cannabis industry. While the legislative framework was passed in July 2024, the full operational launch has faced delays due to the development of its specialized digital platform. Acknowledging that the Department of Immigration has received complaints of bribery, Minister of State for Immigration Darren Pickstock is urging foreign nationals to report any instances of solicitation from immigration officers to the Royal Bahamas Police Force. He says there are mechanisms to report and that they have reporting mechanisms at the detention center as well. Speaking yesterday, while 62 Haitian nationals were escorted onto a Bahamas Air repatriation flight. From the courts, a Supreme Court jury unanimously convicting a man of robbing a laundromat in 2021. Kingsley Chute was accused of robbing an employee of Jet Wash on Bernard Road of $300. Acting Justice Roberto Reckley will hold a sentencing hearing in November. According to the prosecution, on March 15, 2021, two masked men entered the laundromat at around 12:20 p.m. One of them pulled a gun on the employee while the second collected the money. After the holdup, both men ran east on Bernard Road. An off-duty policeman who was driving in the area saw the two men running toward a blue Nissan Note that they entered. He said one of the men had a bag and was holding his waist. No witnesses were able to identify Chute. However, data from his ankle monitor allegedly placed him at the laundromat at the time of the incident. A man arrested for a fatal stabbing last year has been sentenced to 9 years in prison. 22-year-old Twadjavalo Bryce was sentenced for manslaughter when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay yesterday. Bryce initially faced a murder charge in relation to the February 3rd, 2025 death of Falcon Clark, but he pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter last month. He attacked Clark, who was 63, and accused him of stealing $600. Clark, who was said to be a Joneser, was beaten about the body with a broomstick before he was fatally stabbed in the back. The incident, which took place at Augusta Street, was Bryce's first brush with the law. Iran saying that it is in the final stage of drafting an agreement with Oman over the Strait of Hormuz, and U.S. President Donald Trump has said a deal could come as early this week. It could be announced this week that could potentially reopen the critical waterway, easing pressure on the world economy and help bring an end to the war. But the agreement is likely to be contingent on the U.S. lifting its blockade on Iran's ports. The Trump administration has previously ruled out any deal that would cement Iran's grip over the strait, which would amount to a major loss for the U.S. and a break with global norms. Iran has insisted on some measure of control over the strait, saying it will not be open to being an open international waterway as it was before the war. The U.S., along with Israel, launched the war on February 28th, citing various goals, including toppling Tehran's government and ending its nuclear program. Ukraine hit more oil facilities deep inside Russia in nighttime attacks, according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, as Kyiv kept up its campaign to undermine Moscow's wartime economy and embarrass the Kremlin. The repeated strikes have caused fuel shortages and rattled Russians, while heartening Ukrainians who are enduring regular Russian barrages that Kyiv's weakened air defenses are struggling to counter. Ukrainian forces hit a refinery in one area about 800 miles behind the front line in eastern Ukraine, as well as another refinery about 400 miles from the Ukrainian border. Ukrainian forces also hit 2 Russian military patrol boats in the Black Sea, as well as vessels belonging to Moscow's so-called Shadow Fleet, according to Zelensky. He did not provide details about the vessels or the extent of the damage. The Russian Defense Ministry is saying that its air defenses overnight shot down 605 Ukrainian drones over a number of Russian regions, as well as illegally annexed Crimea and the Black and Azov Seas. And North Korea launching a short-range ballistic missile towards the sea on Thursday today. South Korea's military saying that weapons tests days before its rivals in the U.S. and South Korea begin annual military drills were observed, and that North Korea views as an invasion rehearsal. The launch from the North Korea eastern coastal Wonsan area detected about 5 p.m., according to South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff. Explained that South Korea's military has bolstered its surveillance posture and is closely coordinating with the U.S. and Japan. Japan's defense ministry also said North Korea fired a possible ballistic missile, but there was no impact in or around Japan, where the Coast Guard urged ships around the coast to use caution and notify authorities if any fallen objects were found. And at least 308 people abducted in different attacks in the northern part of Nigeria have been rescued, according to the country's president. Those rescued include 163 people abducted from Woro community in the Kayama area, and 148 people kidnapped, mostly from Niger State. Details of the operation that freed the more than 300 people who spent months in captivity not disclosed, with the statement only saying they were rescued from a forest and are now receiving medical attention.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, in a result which came down to a photo finish, Bahamian Denisha Cartwright just missed a medal at the 2026 CAC Games in Dominican Republic, finishing a 4th in a very close race in the women's 100 meters hurdles. on Wednesday. The Bayman hurdler just missed out on what would have been a second regional medal for her in that sporting discipline. She crossed the finish line in 12.99 seconds, the same time as the third-place finisher, and the difference between the two came down to thousandths of a second. Maria Murillo of Colombia won the gold. Cuban Graces Roble was second, and Paulo Vasquez of Puerto Rico won the bronze, running that identical time with Cartwright. And following round two of competition, Team Bahamas remaining in fourth place overall with 26 points at the 2026 the CAC Golf Championships right here in Nassau at Bahama Royal Blue Golf Course. While the host nation remains in fourth place, teams swap positions in the top three. Puerto Rico, the defending champions, maintaining their lead, now has a tournament best total of 37 points. Dominican Republic and Bermuda swapping places in the second and third positions. Bermuda overtaking the DR in the team standings with 33 points. The DR now with 28 points. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. Scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms expected across the country due to deep layered troughing and abundant tropical moisture over the area. Meanwhile, moderate to fresh easterly breezes expected, along with moderate to occasionally rough seas, especially along Atlantic exposed waters, due to a strengthening pressure pattern between a westward moving tropical, surface trough just near the southeast Bahamas and high pressure centered northeast of the archipelago. So for today, there is a moderate to high risk for a few isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. These storms capable of producing strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, heavy downpours, and waterspout activity. And there's a slight to moderate risk of rip currents for Atlantic coastal waters and east and southeast sheltered waters of the central and southeast Bahamas. And expect another day with UV indices in the very high to extreme range. Your forecast for today, the northern half of the country looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with a 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. The central and southeast Bahamas looking at variably to partly cloudy conditions, 30 to 40% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds across the country easterly at 15 to 20 knots. Temperatures, highs getting up to around 90, 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's as hot as 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 81, 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and look in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple. You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
think it's your ideas that build a life. And sometimes, to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the loan from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees. And with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit rbc.com/loans today. Your idea of getting there happens here. Conditions apply, subject to normal lending criteria.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Everybody Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From Spin-Off to Spin Rush to our high-energy tournament, your next spin can turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit see all the ways you can cash in.
Cool. I just paid my insurance premium online.
That is cool. But how about an insurance portal that does that and more? NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have so much more than just a payment portal. You have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with a Fidelity personal loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wendy's is spicing things up this summer with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. A hot, juicy beef patty topped with spicy jalapenos, creamy ranch sauce, melted cheese, and fresh toppings for the perfect balance of cool and spicy. Every bite brings bold flavor that keeps you coming back for more. Turn up the flavor with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger at Wendy's today. Available for a limited time only.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hey, good to have you with us as always.
It's good to be here, and good morning to our listeners.
Hey, what a difference a week makes, right? Last week we were all being tortured.
Darkness,
My Lord. From here to Grand Bahama.
I started going to the beach.
Oh, boy.
No.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm looking for a pitchfork store. You know where any of those are? Got to get one of those. But hey, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But also this morning, we're going to be talking with Dr. Dean Parker Curling. We were going to have her last week, but last week was chaos with the. But she'll be with us today to talk about her new book, Beyond the Knowledge: Power Steps for Doctoring. So I think we're going to get into bedside manner.
Yes, that is so important.
Right. Have doctors lost that touch? We'll see. We'll see today. Later, we are talking with Debbie Deal, our friend from right here at Guardian Radio with her show from the Bayman Contractors Association, Nailed It. And she's going to be talking about the biggest energy users in your home. What you need to be thinking about if you're looking to conserve energy, time to be swapping out certain appliances, maybe. Who knows? So we'll get into that today with her. So that's all ahead. But right now, let's get into what else is news. And in the news, big headlines in the papers today. Gardner hit with fresh charges. Gardner accused of peddling massive quantities of cocaine into Georgia now. So our Tanika Thompson writing about this today. Convicted drug trafficker Jonathan Eric Player Gardner was hit with additional drug charges by United States officials yesterday after he was indicted in Georgia over accusations that he peddled cocaine into Atlanta and other areas for years. a June 9th indictment, which was unsealed yesterday in the Northern District of Georgia, charging that Gardner with two federal counts relating, charged him with two federal counts relating to drug importation and conspiracy offenses. So a press release issued by the U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Georgia, about that indictment revealed that from approximately December 2022 to May 2026, Gardner allegedly supplied large quantities of cocaine to drug trafficking organizations in Georgia and elsewhere. It said Gardner could allegedly distribute more than 2,000 kilograms at a time, adding that when the cocaine arrived, the drug ring allegedly distributed the drugs to multiple states. More than 20 alleged members of the drug trafficking organization were previously charged, and 13 have pleaded guilty. U.S. officials labeled Gardner as a priority target. So according to U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, Theodore S. Hertzberg, quote, operating from the Bahamas, Gardner allegedly coordinated the delivery of massive quantities of cocaine into the Northern District of Georgia and elsewhere. Because of the quick action and dedication of federal law enforcement in Atlanta's Homeland Security Task Force, this recidivist felon, alleged high-level drug trafficker and priority target, will be held accountable for his crimes. FBI Atlanta Special Agent in charge, Marlo Graham, said Gardner allegedly peddled cocaine into Atlanta and across the region for years. Graham said, quote, our fight against international drug traffickers who spread poison into our communities requires all hands on deck. Thanks to the collaboration of federal, state, and local agencies, Gardner will face justice for his alleged crimes. So the indictment alleges that the offenses began at least in or about December 2022, continuing until May 12th, 2026. That date, you remember that date, right, Laverne? Mm-hmm. During that time frame, Gardner is accused of conspiring with Charles Dunn, a.k.a. Silk, Ernest Mordo Diaz, a.k.a. Shorty, Afiba Small John, a.k.a. Phoebes, Brittany Hicks, and others known and unknown to import at least 5 kilograms of cocaine into the United States. Gardner is also accused of conspiring to possess with the intent to distribute at least 5 kilograms of cocaine. If convicted of the offenses, Gardner will be required to forfeit any property constituting or derived from proceeds obtained directly or indirectly as a result of said alleged crimes, and any property used to commit the offenses, including but not limited to a sum of money in U.S. currency representing the amount of proceeds obtained as a result of the offenses alleged in both counts against him. On May 12, 2026, the date of the Bahamas general election, Gardner and 10 others were aboard a small plane that crashed in waters off the American coast. The plane went down while en route to Grand Bahama from Abaco. Those on board were rescued by American officials. However, Gardner, who was traveling with $30,000 in cash, was arrested and later charged in the U.S. with cocaine importation conspiracy. In a criminal complaint filed in May 2026 that outlined separate charges against Gardner, Michael Coleman, a special agent within the convict, was allegedly moving tons of cocaine through the Bahamas with the protection of government officials and high-ranking politicians. The initial criminal complaint against Gardner also contained a photo from the Election Day plane crash of cash in a marked bag with a handwritten name that was redacted, Politician 1. Believed to be a Bahamian politician whom the DEA claims has been helping to protect Gardner and his operation. As noted earlier, Gardner was found with the $30,000 when he was arrested. During a New York court appearance in June, the court heard that $20,000 of the cash Gardner was found with was Bahamian currency that had been withdrawn from Gardner's bank account. $5,000 was in a paper bag with the name of Politician 1 written on it, and there was no mention of the other $5,000. The Georgia indictment references Gardner's previous drug conviction. In 2006, Gardner, who's now 58, from Long Island, was convicted of conspiracy to import cocaine into the United States in the Southern District of Florida and was sentenced to over 18 years in federal prison. Gardner is incarcerated in New York, awaiting trial on additional drug charges. He will appear in the Northern District of Georgia at a later date. Okay.
That's a lot.
There's even more, and you can read more about
Wow.
that in the NASA Guardian today. But quite a lot there. Wow. What more can we say?
I don't think there's anything else to say. We have to continue to see how this unfolds.
Indeed. My goodness. Okay, so let's move on. I just wanted to mention this again. I just find this story really interesting and sad. Man sentenced to 9 years for fatal stabbing. 9 years. A man arrested, this is Artesia Davis writing this in today's NASA Guardian. A man arrested for a fatal stabbing last year has been sentenced to 9 years in prison. I really can't pronounce this name, but Laverne, you want to give this a shot?
Okay.
You might need to write it down.
Yeah, my pencil is in hand.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. TW, and then there's a capital J, AVALO.
TW, capital JAVALO.
Yeah.
To a Javalo?
What? Say that again.
To a Javalo?
Okay.
I don't
That
know.
sound like sense? Anyway, 22-year-old Tuadravalo, Bryce. Huh?
We'll just go with it.
I guess. 22-year-old Tuadravalo Bryce was sentenced for manslaughter when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay yesterday. Bryce initially faced a murder charge in relation to the February 3rd, 2025 death of Falcon Clark, but he pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter last month. So, according to the prosecution, Bryce, right, Tuadravalo Bryce, attacked Clark, who was 63, after accusing Clark of stealing $300. Now, the article says that Clark was a Joneser and was beaten about the body with a broomstick, fatally stabbed in the back. The incident took place at Augusta Street in New Providence and was Bryce's first brush with the law.
Wow.
Yeah, very sad. Wow.
That is sad.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. So again, we appeal to everybody, right? I know you can get angry, but you've got to learn, got to find a better way to deal with your issues.
Right.
There's two lives there.
And I think that's a prime example, right?
Yeah.
Because here it is. You know his intention. This wasn't premeditated.
No.
Yeah.
That Okay, so let's get on to it with BPL and more reaction to that very odd press conference from Tuesday and the strange things that were said and the massive efforts to deflect from their inadequacies to put it on, say we are responsible, if only part, for the challenges that they're facing with the grid in this country. Even though we found out so many things that BGC hasn't fully taken control of the assets, they haven't bought it, fully paid for it yet. There are plans that were on the books to convert the Wärtsilä's infamous Wärtsilä engines to LNG.
Yes.
That's off the table for some bizarre reason. So many other things. They haven't been able to really staff BGC the way they want them, and they're recruiting from BTVI.
So if this hadn't happened, if these massive lengthy power outages had not happened, do you think we would have known any of this?
Not sure. They don't talk to us.
I don't think so.
And maybe it's good that they don't talk to us because the first thing the BGC says is go on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we to make of all of it? What is really going on? We've been asking that for a long time and getting further away from answers, it seems. So more reaction to what we heard on Tuesday. In this story from our Rachel Scott, the headline, Bannister, Hastie, and others challenge explanations for grid failures. So former BPL CEO Whitney Hastie and former Minister of Public Works Desmond Bannister yesterday rejected explanations from BPL and Bahamas Grid Company, who have blamed aging equipment, unsanctioned connections, and summer temperatures for challenges with the electricity grid, leading to repeated power outages in New Providence. Bannister said he's become concerned by the possibility that the requisite maintenance is not being undertaken. Saying, quote, I think it's a serious maintenance issue. When I heard about that fire last week, that's the first thing that came to my mind, to see how equipment is being maintained. I think that is the most critical issue right now. Well, BPL said a blackout in New Providence last week was caused by fire that was the result of a suspected underground cable fault at the Blue Hills Power Station. While BPL has historically been responsible for the maintenance of the grid, 2 years ago, the Davis administration announced an agreement with the newly formed BGC, in which the company would take over the upgrade and maintenance of New Providence's transmission and distribution network. That deal was part of a larger energy reform effort, which the administration, the government said that was required to right-size BPL. Now, the severity of recent power challenges on New Providence has raised new questions over the state of affairs at BGC, which initially planned to rely on BPL transmission distribution network workers moving over to the new company, but apparently still no BPL workers opted to be seconded to BGC. Asked on Tuesday about the company's human resources and whether a lack of skilled workers is contributing to the issues with the T&D network, BGC CEO Dario McKenzie said it had about 100 T&D staff who consist mostly of BTVI graduates and retired BPL workers. Actually, I don't know if that's exactly what he said. He said that 100 workers, and not all of them were doing that. Some of them were in the office, it sounded like. But anyway, they had 100 staff. They wish they had 100 T&D workers. But anyway, okay. He said local contractors are also helping to fill gaps, but noted that the company estimates it needs another 60 to 80 workers. So Bannister says that it's evident that BGC is lacking technical expertise. He said, if you are hired to do a specialized job, you must have the technical expertise to be able to do it. It's clear that this Bahamas Grid Company doesn't have it. It's very clear they don't have it, and that is probably why the government has not provided information on the ownership of this company. Who are the beneficial owners of the company? All we've heard is that they put some money into it, but we've not heard who the experts are who are dealing with the challenges that we're facing. How are they going to combat the problems that they have? Well, having served as minister under the Menace administration, Bannister oversaw a deal with Wärtsilä to install 7 engines at Clifton Pier as a solution to the jet that caused significant public frustration in the summer of 2019. He expressed concern over the Davis administration's decision to terminate that agreement. Bannister said, quote, Wärtsilä had their people here maintaining the systems that we have, and by doing that, I think they're causing a lot of real challenges. We don't have the people who know those engines inside and out. I think aside from the maintenance issue, that is another serious issue. So now Hastie, who was the chairman, he says he won't believe the explanations provided, quote, unless someone can show the empirical data to demonstrate that the failure happened as a result of age or temperature. Like Bannister, he noted concerns over the availability of skilled workers at BGC. He said, quote, who is now the expert, the engineers, to be able to look at the systems and say that we have the right amount of current or amperage going in a certain direction and you're not overloading a circuit above it, or that the protection that's there to protect the equipment from failing is in place? I can tell you personally, when I was there, one of the things the engineers used to do was look at the balance of flow and make sure the circuits were going to be properly loaded. And because it's a network, you can move customers around from one circuit to another circuit to make sure you don't overload a particular circuit. So who is doing all of that today in the transmission and distribution network that is under Bahamas Grid? I don't have the answer to that. Hasey says that if the proper protections were in place, an overloaded system would not be causing equipment failures, as has been seen recently. Okay, so let's get your reaction to all of that. Major concerns here. What's really going on? Is it a generation issue? Is it a transmission and distribution issue? Is it all of the above? Is it everything? And is it the lack of expertise?
Yeah, and clearly people who are familiar, experts, people who've been a part of BPL in some form of the other, accepting what was said.
Yeah.
Right? So, you have to think, as you said, exactly what is going on. Are we getting the full details? Or is there more going on than we know about, that we've ever considered? And the explanations that they've been giving are reasonable. Well, let's be honest, anything is better than you coming up and publicly saying that people should go to the beach and enjoy the breeze.
My God.
Anything is better than that.
Right.
I don't know if they have a public relations department. I don't know who vetted that. But when we say out of touch, out of touch.
Wow. And I do want to go back to something Prime Minister Davis said last week. This was after the blackout, right? And this was in the paper on the 31st of July. Asked if he was disappointed that the country continues to see poor electricity service and frequent outages. Prime Minister Davis said, quote, "The institutional knowledge of the grid in BPL, BGC is no longer there." And I asked all day Friday, I said it on the show, and I asked everybody, I asked the reporters, I said, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Because what it sounds like to me, when I hear that, it sounds like the people who know what to do,
they gone.
Yes, that is what that sounds like to me.
So we're screwed. We're all screwed.
Somebody knows, and here's the thing, and I always talk about the value of some of your more seasoned employees, especially when you have equipment that is not necessarily, brand spanking new. It's been there for a while. They know, and I'm just using people, they know that in order for this thing to work properly, you have to hit this with a wrench 3 times, right? They know that that's the secret. And once you do that, this thing will run all day. Yeah. And if they are not there and people are coming in and they're thinking, okay, how is this, it's just not working for them because they do not know. So for me, when the Prime Minister said that, that means that the people who really, really know are no longer there.
Yeah. Let's hear from you folks. The phone lines are lit up already. I hope we haven't kept you waiting too long, but 323-6232, 325-316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. The institutional knowledge of the grid in BPL, BGC is no longer there.
Where'd it go?
Prime Minister Davis saying that. Wow.
Good morning.
Oh,
Grammy boy.
Grammy boy, it is so good to hear your voice. Are you back?
Yes, I've been back for about 5 weeks.
What a treat this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Cousin Dwight.
Oh, I was going to say, am I chopped liver here? Okay, but anyway.
No,
thank you.
You're my first cousin.
Oh, yeah.
My. But Laverne, your protocol, we have to get protocol.
Yes, of course.
Because these people going on their head saying all kind of things. I guess next year, we're going to have to stop plugging in our cell phones.
You mean next week?
Oh, next week?
You better stop charging. Stop charging your phone.
Exactly. That's going to cause a
unplug
problem.
your toaster and everything.
See, Dwight and Laverne, I'm not listening to all the blame game because these fellas been blaming us for 60 years, depending on who was in at various points in their 10 years. But I take grave acceptance to the beach thing because I wouldn't mind going on the beach providing access. How about that? That's another topic. Yeah. We ain't got no beach access, so why send me on the beach and I ain't got no access? Thanks for taking Grammy Boy call.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Right.
He is sounding well, right? He's sounding pretty good. So hopefully things
he
are
sounded
taking
really
a turn.
good.
I hope so. Caller, good morning. You are live on the air. Are you there? Hi, good morning. Caller, you're live.
Morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Morning, Laverne. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah, morning. Yeah, my take on it is first, I would like to really just say thank you to the hard-working BPL workers or the workers that try to get it together. But I think it's a lack of leadership. I too took really grave offense to the beach comment. You know, I felt insulted. I think we have some leaders or person in leadership. I think Laverne said it, they're out of touch. And I too wondered if there was a PR to persons to come out and speak. Because I'm realizing not all leaders know what to say when they come to the public. And again, everything seemed to be in terms of how they felt or what they felt was happening, but not necessarily the data to say X, Y, Z. And my also concern is if I were EV seller of EV vehicles, I would come out and put out a statement because then you're also affecting my business as it relates to that. But in particularly to come out to the Bahamian people and tell the Bahamian people to go to the beach, it reminded me of a comment that a politician made some time ago about saying putting the tin tub, let the sun hit the water, and then you take a cowboy shower. But in any event, I hope that they get it together. And I was looking or hoping for really the PM or whoever can make that decision to say, you know what, in the interim, because I may be able to go and get a little financing to get a generator. There's nothing coming out to say, okay, these are due to relieve the Bahamian people until we have to come to the conclusion that this is resolved. So I'm hearing the real support other than, hey, excuses, I must leave the plug out, or I must do things to conserve energy.
That was clearly intentional, right? So so they'd be the most genius PR stunt of all. They have totally flipped the switch on us.
Right.
And they turned it away because people were calling for the Prime Minister to resign, for all of the executives at BPL to resign. But Tuesday, they turned that around to, you need to unplug this, and you need to stop doing that and do this, because we're all in this together, and if you help us, we'll... Right? So, and everyone yesterday was blaming other people,
right?
Except for the people who really do need.
Agreed, and there has to be, honestly, at some point, there has to start being some level of accountability, because it is beyond me that this could happen at this level, and then there's no head roll. I'm not calling for anybody's job, but there has to be a better level of accountability, or even competencies across the board.
Thanks a lot. And of course, one company did issue a statement.
An excellent
Easy
point.
Car Sales did issue a statement, but there are most of the new car dealers here are selling EVs. Most of them,
right?
So
and I
they all
absolutely, and I think that reject all of it. Really.
Yeah.
But especially when they talk about electric vehicles, especially when you have, as I said to you yesterday, when the government has EV is the way to go. And so much so that they have incentivized it in terms of what you pay in duty, license, and registration if you have one of those vehicles. So now then, for BGC, whatever, to come back and say this is also a part of it, and saying things like unauthorized.
Yeah, nonsense.
And so we have to reject that and say this is not enough. In any organization, when you have this level of failure, you see a resignation. That behind the scenes it's a termination, but publicly you see a resignation from the very top.
Yeah. Let's take these calls. I may play because people are misconstruing what Mackenzie said, right? But it's what is implied that has caused the problem. And so we'll get to that. But let's take these calls. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, Laverne.
Good morning. Good morning, and condolences to you and your family.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Dwight and Laverne. Isn't the Prime Minister still riding around in his EV?
Was the BMW an EV? Yeah, it was an EV. Yes. You think that was authorized? You think he had to inform the people?
I don't know.
How often does he plug that in?
But Dwight, I also saw a video with a fleet of electrical vehicles being charged up inside BPL's yard.
They have plenty chargers there.
These too, but the government departments, they are even they have
All
more
of them.
EVs today than when I was employed in government.
And lots of chargers.
And lots of chargers, right? But it's just a cop-out, because in our history, we have really never had no ball. I mean, other than Linden, right? We really had no. Mr. Ingram showed a little bit of care, but that's like after Ingram, we ain't really had too much care for the baby people. It was just grab here, grab there, right? And it just got worse over these years to the point you really have to fix anything. You could just come up with a strong enough blame game, right? And once you could over blame the other person who blame it, right? Then the blame will win, right? But that's how we've been running this country for a little while, man. But hey, when it comes to the Eric Gardner situation, man, I really believe we can see some by-election in the very near future, man. Because
some like more than one.
Yeah, more than one.
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely can be more than one. Because allegedly, or what you've been watching, you're seeing that it could definitely be more than one. So we can wait for September. September. The House of Assembly is going to be open, and the court is going to be back, and so it's going to be really, really something to watch, right? So y'all get ready. Have a nice day, man.
Hopefully the power will stay on and we can observe it all. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Thanks for taking my call. Hello to you and Laverne. I would like to address the institutional knowledge that the Prime Minister is referring to.
You are you able to understand what he means?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember the 120 million voluntary separation exercise that happened at BPL in 2018?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that led to a departure of over 300 employees.
Yeah, but they weren't all like 100 years old, right? Get them back. What's the big deal? What's so hard about this?
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. What's so hard about? Well, I guess they have the 120 million. I'd bring them back and then say, well, look, we're going to bring you salary. I don't know how.
Well, you heard what BGC is saying. They have these people on a contractual basis, so they are using them, but they're not employees. So
really
does that
no
make
excuse
sense?
then.
That makes no sense, right? So just hire them. Anyway.
Well, what does make sense to me is participation, getting some current from those high power lines through induction, okay? That makes sense to me.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Hi, are you there? Let's take that other. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you. Turn down whatever is in that background there.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you. Turn down your radio and listen to us through the phone.
Hello.
Oh, my. Okay. Keep calling. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free or text us. So you're live. Good morning.
Hey, Mr. Dwight, Strachan, and Laverne, how y'all doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Sean. I'm calling to, and especially with Laverne present, to give my confession. I am an EV driver.
Oh boy!
And
Sean!
I didn't know my love of EVs was a crime. My electric. I try to try to do this with a serious face, but my electric car, I've had for many years. I've been driving EVs for over 10 years. In fact, I think it was 2016 when I first got my first electric car. Before then I was driving a gas car, and I had to go to those places. I think y'all call them gas stations.
Wow, it's been that
where
long.
You put this liquid. Someone came and put a liquid in, and then it caused the car to run. But since then, I have not purchased one. And all of those savings, Dwight and Laverne, are you listening? All of those savings over those 10 years, I saved some of them, and I was able to put some of those savings into some solar. And so not only am I off gas, I'm off BPL. So I don't feel the pain that many people are feeling when the power goes off. But I just called to confess because I didn't know what I was doing was a crime. When I plugged in my car the other day, I think it was last week, the whole neighborhood went dark. So I guess it's our fault.
Now, Sean, you're joking there, right?
No. This is empirical data. You gotta trust the experts, Dwight and Laverne. Trust when they stand in front of a mic and tell us this expert information. We got to believe them. So I have to believe that I'm at fault, and 3,000 of us who drive EVs are at fault for what's going on, with the grid and all the power outages and all the suffering that our behaving fellow citizens are facing. We are at fault, and I just called to confess. I didn't know I had to report my charge. I had a charger that's been with me on my garage in my driveway for the past 10 years. It's been through all the storms. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that charger. I didn't know I had to report that. Where do I go, actually? Is there a hotline?
I mean, he said, who knows? I don't know where. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
So I've been connecting an illegal device to the grid. This is my confession. I call the police. Tell the judge, look, I plead guilty. I don't even want to waste the court's time. And please give me a concurrent sentence, please.
Yeah, right. Well, you could do a plea bargain with them, perhaps. A plea deal.
And then I just want the rest of the drivers to know they're coming after us now, the EV drivers. But y'all plug-in hybrids, out there with your plug-in hybrids, they're coming after you next.
And Xbox owners, Xbox and PlayStation too, because I'm sure they're pulling too much. I'm sure.
Why are you giving out all my business?
Well, there you go. Well, you really are the problem. But thank you for calling for your testimonial. But this is a serious matter. I appreciate you adding some levity to the conversation. But this is we're going to play Mackenzie's statement probably after the news, because just so you can hear what he said. But it's just really weird. Let's see if we can squeeze this call in very quickly. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mrs. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you call this? No, I don't want to go at it, but it's not. The gentleman didn't. I know it's absurd. I couldn't believe what I was watching when I heard the gentleman say that, but he never mentioned that they were the problem.
Right. He didn't really say that. No.
I'm telling the individual, when you had the individuals listen to 96.9, I get to listen to a very informative station. It is not the problem. He never says we are the problem. He never says there's a cause. But I know what he says is absurd. I know that. That needs to be reconsidered, or someone needs to give and review that comments he made.
Yes.
But he never said they were the problem. He never said it's illegal to have those things.
No, he didn't say that, but he did say they should.
You can't have an electric vehicle. I like gas combustion engines, and that's me. But if you choose to do electric, you're not the problem. I don't want to be saying that you're the problem. Thank you, my son.
I appreciate you, and that's what I was saying. I'm going to play it again because he didn't say that. He didn't, but immediately people heard what they wanted to hear. And that's what I said on the show yesterday, that there are people who've always been opposed to EVs, and that's all they needed to hear yesterday was that you all need to tell us this, right? And they say, oh, see what I mean? They're a problem. All right. And the deflection was masterful away from their major flaws at BGC, whatever that is, and BPL. We got to go to the news. This is Morning Blend. We'll pick this up on the other side.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel. Tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:19, it is time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms expected across the country today due to a deep layered troughing and abundant tropical moisture. Meanwhile, moderate to fresh easterly breezes will continue, along with moderate to occasionally rough seas, particularly along Atlantic exposed waters due to a strengthening pressure pattern between a westward moving surface trough near the southeast Bahamas and high pressure centered northeast of the archipelago. So by Saturday, a strengthening ridge of high pressure will bring a more stable air mass across the country, leading to a decrease in shower and thunderstorm activity into the weekend. But lingering moisture over the northern half of the country may still trigger a few showers and thunderstorms occasionally. Marine conditions, including the Atlantic waters, will also improve, with seas becoming slight to moderate. Winds will remain mostly moderate, though becoming occasionally fresh across parts of the southeast Bahamas. Ahead of that, though, there is a moderate to high risk for isolated, strong to severe thunderstorms today across the country. These storms could produce some strong gusty winds, frequent lightning, heavy downpours, and waterspout activity. And there's a slight risk of rip currents for Atlantic coastal waters and east and southeast sheltered waters of the central and southeast Bahamas today. So for today, your forecast for the northern half of the country, partly cloudy to cloudy with a 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. The central islands looking at variably cloudy conditions, and the southeast Bahamas looking at partly cloudy conditions today, a 30 to 40% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures today, highs getting up to around 90, 91 Fahrenheit, 32, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like it's as hot as 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. In your extended outlook, by Friday, tomorrow, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds for the southeast Bahamas, but partly cloudy to cloudy for everywhere else. And the northern half of the country still looking at a 30 to 40% chance of showers with thunderstorms. By Saturday, across the country, a mix of sun and clouds, slightly elevated chances for rain again for the northern half of the country. And that will continue into Sunday and Monday and even Tuesday. The tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation unexpected during the next 7 days. That's your morning blend weather check. Weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Bring your vision to life with Sherwin-Williams Paint's premium long-lasting protection for every project. Sherwin-Williams, cover the earth. At 8:22, time for a check of traffic, brought to you by Anyway Insurance. And right now, I'm not seeing too many issues on the streets in New Providence as we're in that summer pattern. It's not going to last much longer, though. But right now, just seeing a bit of congestion on Blue Hill Road, heading northbound towards Independence Drive. As you get over that hill, you'll see that. As you approach the roundabout, over on Milo Butler Highway, manageable there too. Just until you get a little bit closer to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, you'll see that line in front of you. Tawny Williams Darling Highway backed up a little bit westbound towards that roundabout. Bit of congestion for you at John F. Kennedy Drive near the six-legged roundabout. And West Bay Street, east of Arawak, some slow-moving traffic as you head into Down Street, eastbound. Pockets along the major intersections with Prince Charles Drive. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Where online insurance goes beyond payments, you can get an instant car insurance quote, buy a new policy or renew an existing one, pay your premium, or access your insurance documents all online. Discover everything a full-service online insurance portal can do at nuainsurance.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
Lord, what is this? Not again. BP, I could tell, must see one blood. Why I'll keep cutting people carrying off. BP, I could tell, must see one blood. Why I'll keep cutting people carrying off. He all clowning and skylarking with the power over here. Always blaming, little bit of lightning with a little splash, a little rain. People carrying us off for hours. This is pure nonsense. Y'all cheating us out of sufficient power, but still will not give us a full bill. People must see one blood. Why y'all keep cutting people carrying off? PPL could kill. Must see one blood. Why y'all keep cutting people carrying off? Don't want to hydro, don't want to solar. Y'all want just dollar. Why? Dollar wine and BS. And people park up all over the beach, ready to cuss y'all behind. What's the sense in paying your bill when it off most of the time? We might as well go back to kerosene oil or just use candle light. PPL could kill, must see one blood. Why I'll keep cutting people carrying.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner solo with his song there. They're kinda don't want to jinx it, Laverne, but they're kind of behaving this week, so now it feels a little different. We shouldn't. Can't feel guilty. No, because they deserve it. They deserve it. They deserve it. We'll play more of the songs. Yeah. Just so they know that we ain't on their run. But coming up in a few minutes, though, we're going to be changing gears a bit, talking about doctors and bedside manner and more with Dr. Christine Parker Curling, her book, Beyond the Knowledge, Power Steps for Doctoring with a Human Touch. Looking forward to that discussion. And then later, we are talking about the biggest energy consumers, users in your homes and what to do about it. And ways to change your behavior so that you are draining less or less of a drain on the grid. Since that is something we need to be very mindful of now. So that's coming up. But we continue to talk about BPL and what's going on. So as I said, I wanted to just so that people don't misunderstand or misquote what he said. But of course, what was inferred has been a problem and a challenge. But let's get BGC CEO Dario McKenzie was saying at that press conference on Tuesday, which this was the whole thing. All of it in one sentence about going to the beach and about EVs. One powerfully dangerous and ridiculous sentence. Take a listen.
In order to maintain the system reliability, we really do need the public's support and assistance. So in short, this is a public appeal, right? Conserve load where you can. Mr. Holder also talked about unreported or unauthorized connected loads, right? There's a reason why we have processes in place where you ought to report when you're connecting a new EV charger, right? That's a substantial drain, and that's unseen to the system operators. So in short, what I'm saying is we're appealing to the public at large to assist us with curtailing load, especially during peak period, constant breeze. Sometimes it may be not a bad thing. I know I do it. I go out and I sit on the beach and enjoy what this beautiful island has to offer. But to each his own. In order to maintain this.
To each his own. Wow. Okay. Substantial drain, he says. Substantial drain.
Right.
2,500 vehicles. But we've never heard this before. Never heard that you were to report this and that this needs to be authorized ever in all of these years, has it been said. Never from the Ministry of Works, never from Ministry of Energy, never from BPL, ever. And suddenly, this guy out of nowhere, BGC, whatever, this is making less sense than ever before, is coming with this statement, and go to the beach. Okay.
And the thing of it is, right, while, you say very casually, you kind of throw all these things out there very casually. You have a lot of EV owners and you're plugging in. So we're just saying, let us know. This is the first time out of the blue. So how are people to receive this? They feel like you're just out here grasping at straws. And then you say, I like to go to the beach and enjoy the things that this beautiful island offers. Okay. Okay.
To each his own, though.
To each his own.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Because Dwight, I can tell you, I'll be honest, I like to go to the beach sometimes, just park, and I watch the waves, and that's very therapeutic for me.
Mm-hmm.
But can I tell you that it is very hot this summer, and there is not always a breeze on the beach? So what are you saying? You threw that out there. What are you saying to people when it is extremely hot? It is maybe in the evening or whatever time of day it is. There is no breeze that's coming off the water. Maybe there's a slight breeze when the heat index is telling you it's 89, but it feels like 102. Like, what was the point of that? And that's why I said, who works in their PR department? Nobody works with a highlighter and a red pen. No, don't say that.
Well, again, he wasn't reading. He wasn't reading a statement. He was talking off. Talking out of his head, or
clearly,
so I'm sure even
clearly that wasn't the best decision.
And I'm sure if they have PR people, they were like, "Oh, what did he just say?"
Right.
But wow. But it's time for someone in the government to make a statement on this. To say, hey, well, we never said that you needed to do that, and what?
Right.
It's been 2 days. It's been 2 days.
Expecting somebody to come out and say, there's a lot of things going around, but here's the position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what's going on and why nobody's come out, but maybe it's because he was talking nonsense. Because
everybody was sitting there going, did he just say that? Oh my God. Yeah. They were all in their phones. What's happening? Y'all listening to this? Wow. Did he just say that? I told y'all to write something for him.
Crazy. Let's hear from you in these few minutes we have left in this segment. 323-623-236. 325-4259. I told you yesterday, I guarantee you this will come back to bite the EV owners who are all saying they've only noticed their bills go up by a couple dollars each month, $20, $25 a month. Right? And you watch and see. Once you start, if you are going to be required to report that you have a charger, watch and see that bill go up a whole lot more out of nowhere.
Right. Who are you supposed to be reporting
again?
to?
Nobody knows. Maybe to somebody on the beach.
Are you supposed to call?
A beach warden.
Are you just going to call BPL and say, hey, I just want to let you know that I bought an EV and I have a charger and I'm installing a charger.
It'd be the dumbest thing you could ever do. I guarantee you.
So but there is nothing anywhere that says that you need to do that other than that statement the other day.
It's madness. This text is saying.
And so there's nothing for you to comply with. Carry on smartly.
A texter saying, so an EV charger adds about $30 to your monthly bill compared to air conditioning, but they are saying this is putting strain on the grid?
Right. Yeah, that part. Boy. It doesn't, it's not, it does not make sense. It doesn't.
Caller, what say you? Good morning.
It's gone, Laverne.
Good morning.
Morning. You know, Dwight, when I called you yesterday, I was literally on the beach. So for some of us, they don't need to tell when to go to the beach because that is a usual pastime of ours. The point is, when we come off the beach, we want to be able to enjoy the comfort of turning the fan on or turning on our air conditioning. You know, through that myriad of excuses, Dwight, only one thing that all of the female people have gotten out of this is a ring. The only comfort we got was the ring, and that ring is actually suffering, okay? Because all of us at some point in time have suffered through that. And the other point is, Jonathan Gardner. The question needs to be asked. The date that they have Jonathan Gardner accused of, was Michael Alcides a part of top-notch buildings during any of that time? Does it conflict? The time he was either a senator or otherwise? That's the question. Thank you very much. You'll have a great day.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
Dwight and Ms. Gardner, I made a suggestion. Do you know at the QE Sports Center, that solar plant, right? That is unoperable at this time.
So they say.
I think the government needs to sign an agreement with those electric car companies, let them renovate that particular facility and put more charging ports at that facility where the government will get a stipend from those companies at either every 6 months or a year. And it will help alleviate, because I know what's going to happen. All those homes that have the personal port charges, those homes going to be inspected, and whenever they found it, they're going to be charged a fee. So
Why would that happen?
Pardon me?
You know that's going to happen? Why would that happen? Why should that happen?
BPL has to come to your yard to check for your meter reading. Okay, they don't have to come in your yard, but they will be able to tell by the smart system that they has begin to implement already.
Well, what are you saying? What?
I'm saying to you is that the solar system that is erected at this QE.
Yeah, we heard you say that part. What was the other part you're saying? Make sense what you said.
Well, if they do their investigation, when those
First of all, let's get this straight. No one has ever said this before. This guy from BGC, again, whatever that is, just pulled that out of his hat, right? No one has ever said that this is a thing. So why are we all harping on that right now? This is not the problem.
Has the electrical company did an assessment on all the electric cars in New Providence to tell how much electricity they're using? Has they done that as yet? You think they're not going to do it? That's what I'm saying to you, sir.
Okay. They got bigger problems to worry about.
Thank you.
Bigger problems to worry about. And this is, again, the perfect deflection from the fact that they have incompetent people running this place and all the expertise has left. Focus. This is exactly what they wanted. For you to not focus on how lousy they are. Do you need to go register your dryers too? Because it's pulling a lot of electricity. Do they need to come and inspect that too? Do they need to come and inspect all the things you've plugged in and say, oh boy, you got a million things plugged in this house. We got to charge you more. They see your bill. They charge you. You go over a certain number of kilowatt hours, you are paying more. People already have $900 bills. What is going on here now? This is deflection. Don't fall for it. Caller, you're on the phone.
Yes, good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
This is all a distraction. These people the BPL, they're not no dummies down there, if I could say it like that. They somehow, I mean, let me put buying electrical cars long time to lower their gas bills and stuff. If it was a problem with electrical cars, BPL would have told government long time, wait until we get the system and the grid properly fitted. We have hotels getting ready to get built. We have hotels getting ready to come online. Where's the power going to come from? BPL has power to generate. I keep on telling people it has something. I see what they said about Pike dealing with the infrastructure, but I don't know what all infrastructure that is. If they say it was 95% complete, which infrastructure that is? That's mean the whole island or just a portion? Because I only saw them was working on by NIB and Evans Highway, putting up some big pole, and up in Yellow Elder area. I didn't see them all over the island, erecting new poles and putting up new wires. So, hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yeah, so I don't know what that 95% it includes. We have a lot of power lines need to be changed. We need an upgrade on this whole island. So I keep on making alliances with water and sewage. Water and sewage have water to suffocate our whole entire island of New Providence. They can't because we still have bad pipes in the ground and we still have a lot of leaks. Hence, that's why they have a next company looking into that, still looking into that. From when Ingram was dealing with the water line, they are still here trying to rectify all where all the water leaks are. They're repairing them. So this is not a quick solution in public. Come out and tell him in public how long this thing is going to be, so that we can do our responsibility on how we can assist with correcting the problem until everything is finished. How we could cause less stress on the grid.
Okay.
Things were said. You hurt people's feelings. You know how Bahamian get when you crash down on their things and their egos. Everybody start lashing. This is why I feel like they just put this thing out there for us to be debating about ourselves and arguing with ourselves.
Yeah,
and stuff.
absolutely.
It's total nonsense.
It's probably
and this is
genius.
what's going to cost the government.
A PR genius, maybe, to push it. As you say, distract everybody from the real issues. But now have everybody looking at us, each other cross-eyed and stuff. One more call. I got a whole lot of text messages to get to. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please. Mm-hmm.
Morning, Dwight. Laverne, how are you this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Laverne still there?
Yes, she is.
Hey, Laverne, I hope you watching, listening, and paying attention for what's to come for us in Grand Bahama if this deal with BPL goes through and GB Power. But I'm sick and tired.
The sale, I thought the sale already went through.
Well, I'm just sick and tired of BPL telling people what they need to do. Turn off the air conditions. Don't plug any electric cars. Blaming the weather. Blaming the hot temperatures. Blaming God for the lightning strikes. They blaming everybody else. Want everybody to take responsibility. But what is BPL doing to correct the problem, to fix the problem, and to mitigate the problem? What are you going to do so that this problem can be rectified?
Mm-hmm.
We tired of hearing excuses. We want to hear solutions.
Absolutely.
I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, let's get through these text messages really quick. This person says here, who are the major shareholders of BGC? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Some monsters down there, I guarantee you. They need to scrap Bahamas Grid and put transmission and distribution back into the hands of BPL.
Isn't it? They said the turnover or whatever hasn't fully gone through yet.
Well, I mean, I think this text is onto something. Perhaps this whole deal might need to be scrapped.
Yeah.
Should it? Because, boy. We are what? We in set. Okay, what? But you're saying you're the same age as me, that's what you're saying? I worked for utilities for over 20 years as an engineer. When the old folks move on, the young folks fill the gaps quite effortlessly. You will find that there is a certain amount of sabotage with the entitled seniors, oh boy, who need to be needed. Yes, I said it. If given the authority and resources, the younger folks would show us. It's not rocket science. It's a grid. It's been done before. Yikes. Yikes. When is the Ministry of Education going to call the new applicants who applied? It's August 6th. What's happening? Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. I haven't heard from a number of the PLPs in a while. What's going on? Are they on vacation? Or vacation? I hope you're watching. Oh, yeah. Another one saying, I hope you're watching What's Coming for Grand Bahama. Yikes. I listened to the former prime minister and the former chairman about the maintenance of those engines at BPL. I could say that is not true. Those engines are maintained, and it's no different from when both of them were there. Yes, the person from Wärtsilä is no longer here, but that hasn't impacted the maintenance program that was in place. I could unequivocally say that because I work for both governments, I think they're saying. The problem with our engines is that they are overloaded. I think they're trying to say antiquated as well. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think he was only talking about the Wärtsilä engines. This is Bannister.
Right.
I think he was talking about just everything in general. So maybe they are maintaining the Wärtsilä engines happening at Blue Hills and some of the other sites. Maybe. I think that's what he was saying. This person says it's the electric vehicles and not successive large-scale developments with no upgrades to the grid causing the power problems with BPL. Take the plank out of your eye. I don't know who he's saying that to. Is it to the EV people or the... Okay.
I think that the text is just making that statement. We don't have to worry about who it's applied to.
It's
it's
sarcasm without the with making you question whether it is sarcasm. Okay, well that's effective.
Sarcasm.
Is it? It's quite
good.
Effective. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was the Minister of Immigration saying on air? Well, we were talking about that today, but it made absolutely no sense. He has to have a photo when sending back the visitors this government allowed in. The only way he okay. Oh boy. Yikes. This texter says here, BPL really needs to get it together. So are they implying that the government was not consulted prior to the leasing of all these EVs to use them over the next 5 years? Again, that was one person from BGC. But the government has been advocating for reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. They need to stop deflecting and fix the actual problems. Let me charge my car once a week in peace, please. BPL, don't complain when that light bill gets paid in full. Interesting. Right? That beach comment was highly insensitive and condescending. We no longer have easy access to public beaches anyway, and the ones that we do have access to have issues with parking, seating, bathroom facilities, and bathroom tissue, safety, and properly maintained play areas for the kids. Add to that, there are not enough trees to shade anyone. Talking fool.
Dwight, I think we should do a special.
Mm-hmm.
We should call it something to do with how many beaches are left for Bahamian to access.
Well, that won't be
won't
be a very long special.
Yeah, let's do a special. Because when you put things out there, is when things get done. I think we should do that. Let's talk about it after the show.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, there are plenty on the other islands, but if you're talking about New Providence...
Yeah. Let's talk about New Providence. Let's talk about Grand Bahama. Let's see how many beaches the public still has access to.
That'll be a 4-minute special.
If it's only 4 minutes, that is terribly alarming.
Okay.
But let's, seriously. Okay.
Good idea. This EV mystery drain is the most stupid argument I have heard in years. BEC has 5 years of records of people paying bills. Ministry of Works has all the construction permits. In 2026, they should have been aware that of all the electricity needs. I'm sick of this government that shoots out the most stupid statements from their brainless supporters to rally around. I guess they can stop using entrapment rally cries now. I don't know if I understand all of that, but okay.
I get it, but let's just be clear. That statement didn't come from the government. Just, let's be clear.
We're waiting for the government to say something.
Right. So don't say this is the government statement. The government is saying this. This is the gentleman from What is it?
BGC.
But every time I go to sit it, I have to stop myself because I want to put an acid E on the end of it, right? So, BGC. I feel like I'm supposed to be saying BGCSE, right? But yeah.
And I keep telling people not to say there's a national average with that, but I think BGC gets it too. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
You have more?
Yeah, just a few more text messages. We got to go to the break. Interesting enough, we await any comment from the MP for Fort Charlotte. It will indeed be interesting to see his response. Okay, sure. Like I said earlier, almost all, I think there's only 2 of new car dealers in New Providence sell EVs. Someone from the Bahamas Motor Dealer Association. They really should. And the Ministry of Works and BPL, everybody needs to issue a statement on what was said.
They're not issuing a statement. They say because we can't address nonsense.
No, that's not the right attitude to have at all. This person says, yes, unless your car can pull a lot of power from a home. It's basically like adding another big appliance like your AC or water heater, but it runs for hours. Electric vehicles are not the only problem. Yeah, well, this is just as much of a problem as running your dryer and other things. So if this is a challenge, then as we've been saying, BPL is in some deep problems. Yeah, let's leave that there. We're going to take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us here on this Thursday morning.
Clowning and skylarking with the power over here. Always blaming, little bit of lightning with a little splash, a little rain. People carrying us off for hours. This is pure nonsense. You're cheating us out of sufficient power, but still will not give us a full bill. PPL cartel, must see one blood. Why y'all keep cutting people carrying?
You try to rest. Roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 3022. Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I'm going to get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Hey, did you ever sort out the car insurance?
I thought you did.
No, I sent it to you.
You sent me the reminder.
Okay, hold on. Okay, done.
Done?
Yeah, renewed, paid.
NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal. You get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have a complete Insure Now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Attention All-Star students. The season for school success starts now at John Bull Business Center. Stock up on notebooks, backpacks, pens, calculators, art supplies, and more with 20% off school supplies and 10% off teaching aids. Shop now through September 12th, and every purchase automatically enters you to win one of 3 Apple prizes. This year is your season to shine. Gear up, save big, and start your school year like a champ with John Bull Business Center.
At RBC, we think it's your ideas that build a life. And sometimes to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the loan from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees. And with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit rbc.com/loans today. Your idea of getting there is subject to normal lending criteria.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. Cause when I turn to party, this drunk and they got me wet. So, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. We could be wake and scraping, winding up and misbehaving.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this Thursday. Changing gears now. The book is called Beyond the Knowledge, Power Steps for Doctoring with a Human Touch. And we are very happy to have with us in studio Dr. Christine Parker Curling. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you on.
Thank you. Great to be here today.
I think with you here now, all of the Parker kids have been on the show, all except for Miles.
Okay.
Right?
We'll
so we got to work on Miles, right? But anyway, great to have you finally.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us about, I have a lot of questions. Laverne, I'm sure you do as well. Tell us about
Absolutely.
how this book came about and why.
Okay, that is a question that I will try to address quickly, but it has multiple layers.
Okay.
I would say from the academic and maybe fulfillment side, when we train in our careers, we spend a lot of time, a lot of dedicated time learning the science of medicine, the science of reading the readings, interpreting laboratory tests, taking a history, examining a patient, and rendering appropriate care. But we do pick up along the way skills that help us to relate to patients better, that help some doctors connect with some patients better, that help some patients say, well, I like how I feel when I go to that doctor. So the question I had was, given that I didn't have a formal session, maybe addressing what we would call in layman's terms, maybe bedside manner.
Yeah.
Are there like quantifiable and measurable and identifiable things that patients find more relatable? And has anybody written about them? And has anybody compiled maybe a work that could be referenced in one particular place? And so, of course, I went on the hunt for the work that really didn't exist in one place. But I did find evidence from different papers that I cited in the book that talked about which components of interactions were positively reinforcing and which ones were negatively reinforcing. And that's where the book kind of came from.
Okay, fascinating. But it feels like, I mean, from years ago, and then if you watch old movies and TV shows, it feels like bedside manner was a thing that you had to learn about as well as a doctor. Like this was a thing you had to cultivate.
Right. It was a thing maybe that sometimes we feel some people have it and some people don't. Oh, that one is good at that, and,
Right.
and some people don't. And so the question was, is it something learnable? Is it something teachable? Are there people who are having more difficult times connecting with people? Is there something that they could use to improve their ability to do that? And the answer is within certain, degrees.
Wow.
So it wasn't
So there's no course in medical school, like, you have to take this as well. And
through my training, I didn't experience overt teaching on how to relate to the patient.
okay.
You picked up these things, implied teaching, but to say that someone spoke to me and say, when you interact with a patient, on average, we allow them to speak for about 12 seconds before we interrupt. How much of a story can you get in 12 seconds?
Wow.
When you want to express empathy, where is it safe to touch my patient? Is it safe across cultures to express empathy by maybe patting a shoulder or the upper back? Yes. Is it safe to touch everybody's knee or everybody's hand? In some places that might be considered a little bit off, out of bounds. So there's certain things that, we find that some people do this naturally. So the question was, can you quantify the things that person does naturally that helps the patient to relate to them better? And can you teach that to the other doctor? And the answer is, I'm going to say a resounding yes.
Really? Wow. Are women better at this than men?
I would say by nature, women tend to be nurturing, a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more easy to relate to. And so in some scenarios, I would say, that's just the human side, not the research side.
Right.
I would probably have to say yes.
Yeah.
And I suppose people could give their feedback on how they feel about that.
Wow.
I agree.
You
Thank you. And let me tell you why I agree. I'm not going to call any names. When I was years ago, I had a blood disorder, called purpura. And I had a doctor, primary care physician, who was not a bad physician at all by no stretch of the imagination. He had to travel. And because of the nature of the illness, I had to go in every single week.
Okay.
And he had to travel. And so he explained to me that he was going to be traveling, and he made a recommendation that while he was off, this other doctor. And I began to see this other doctor while he was off island. And she was a female. And I never went back to him. She was my primary care physician for 24 years.
Oh my goodness.
Until she retired.
So can you say, like,
she retired?
What was the difference?
The reason it was I felt it was the care. It absolutely was the bedside manner. I felt more seen, more heard. I had never experienced the kind of care that I got from her. And I believe that was just particular to her, but it made a complete difference. And like I said, the male doctor that I had prior to that, I had no complaints. If I had never met her, I probably would have stayed with him. But once I met her, I was like, this is my doctor.
Very interesting.
This is my person. She was my primary care physician through every illness, every sickness, every child, up until she broke my heart when she said that she would be retiring.
Oh my goodness. So when you hear that, Dr. Christine Parker Curling, what do you think?
Well, I think to some degree, some people click.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bahamas, we say, oh, my spirit don't take to this one. So there is certain interactions that just have a natural chemistry, that you connect with this patient, you connect with this doctor, you feel a connection with that person. So I would say in this particular case, that could have been just your natural connection to her. It could have been your personalities lined up, and it could have been that she had excellent bedside manner. Right?
Can I say to you that I thought that she was like that was particular until you encounter other people and like we're having arguments and they're like, no, that's no, this is how she is with me. So I think that in her case, that was just her bedside manner.
Yeah.
So the question I would put to you, which is what I put to myself and to, the people I would have consulted with, the question is, in someone else's, in themselves, the difficulty. So we're not all good at everything. Nobody's good at everything. I'm not good at everything. And perhaps I had feedback from people that made me think, is this something I'm good at? And I'm not making any particular effort to do this thing. I'm just being me.
Right.
But are there components of what I do in a particular scenario that somebody who finds themselves in this particular arena would find useful? Not that you want to contrive these connections, but you might learn little tips, little ways to handle particular scenarios that makes it easier for you as a provider. And I will stretch this as a provider, a leader, somebody rendering care, somebody in a place of authority. Is there something that you could learn from somebody who's good at this that you could adopt into your everyday behavior? Yeah. So I'm not good at certain things, so I have to study them, right? So why is my ability to communicate well and relate well not something that I should study?
Yeah. Do you see a difference in private practice versus in the public health?
Okay, so this is going to be setting. This is good because the book is a manual that emphasizes the care framework: compassion, awareness, responsiveness, and engagement, which are the 4 tenets of communication and personal interaction that I think you pour into every interaction you have. But a part of what this addresses is when you spend a life and a career in whatever capacity pouring into others, how do you make sure that you come out the other end with anything of yourself left over? If you are pouring, giving, how are you maintaining yourself? So in caring for others, we give advice here about pausing and reflecting and caring for yourself. So in a system that's strained, you might have to develop tools to cope because you didn't come to, you don't make IV fluids, you don't make blood, you don't make the things that might be scarce. And you might have a patient that you want to do the right thing for. And so I would say certain environments challenge you more.
Absolutely.
Because you're fighting more than just an interpersonal stressful work environment. Yeah. So there is a difference, but I think that difference is bigger than the individual.
Well, I've noticed this before. In emergency room settings, often the doctors are not looking in your eyes, and they are looking almost through you or around you, and it's like, wait, what's happening here, right? But in a private setting, it seems to be a different experience.
So I'm going to speak to that too. If I have 60 seconds, I'm going to say that in defense a little bit of the physician who cares and who works, it's very difficult to be involved in rendering care to somebody and not feel for that person and not feel for that scenario. So I would say after the 6th year of crying with your patient, you might not see the doctor go when they go in the next room because they just dealt with somebody who had a loss. Wow. And they can relate to that. And they're in the room and they have to get it together before they come outside and put up this front, because you're looking at them for advice. You don't want to see your doctor crying in front of you necessarily in the emergency room.
That's true.
But you don't know the emotional toll that operating in this system has on the individual rendering the care. So when you say this person isn't looking at, I cannot cry 40 times a day. It doesn't make sense. So sometimes we develop behaviors that allow us to maintain our clinical acumen, but control our emotional investment just for the preservation of the giver.
I get it.
So
I get it. Wow.
There are 2 sides to this coin that we don't often think about when we say this doctor don't care about me. She's busy. She's been doing this for 14 hours.
And they are humans.
And they are humans also.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a lot to think about.
And they have to, with their chosen career path, they have to find ways to cope.
Yes.
So thank you for that, because thank you for that, because then what this is doing about, bedside manner of the doctors, it maybe will make us as patients have some more compassion towards the physician, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you will read some things and that will make you say, Full stop.
Right. So it's not just for doctors.
It's not just for doctors.
Mhm.
And I would say I know we got to go. I would say some of the biggest feedback has been from teachers
Oh, really?
who said when they read,
wow.
so it's a story, it's a book of stories about what happened in a scenario, what did the doctor do, what did the patient do, how could it have been handled different. And I've had teachers and even people in HR say they substituted the word patient for student.
Okay.
And they started to shift, because you come into the classroom and you have somebody already slapped a diagnosis on you. Somebody already slapped a label on this child. And everything this child does is interpreted through the lens through which you see the child. A chance to show you who they are. Oh, this one is disruptive. Anyway, that's Pratt. Pratt always talking. Pratt always. So you interact with this person with the label that they came with.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to pause and say, well, what's going on with this person?
All right. So give us. We got a few minutes, but tell us how you can change, how you can become more empathetic and understanding, and improve your bedside manner.
I think one of the first things you have to do is pause and look at yourself and see, is there something that I require work on? Stop and recognize that there are areas of life and areas of practice and areas of interactions that you probably could improve on. Right. Sometimes you could ask somebody, you might ask your colleagues, you might ask patients that you've developed long-term relationships with, because the patients are the ones who gave me the feedback to, I guess, make me feel empowered to go ahead and do the work on that better by recognizing where doing the questionnaire at the back of the book that talks about the way you handle different scenarios and directs you to where maybe you can do some more work.
I asked you earlier if there is a course in medical school, but do you think it should be? Do you think that should be something everybody studies?
I think it should be a little bit more formal, even if it's, somewhere you go to directed to do some kind of online interaction. And I'm going to say that it's even more important now because of the integration of technology, artificial intelligence, time constraints, and the direction that medicine is going. You have 30 patients in your clinic and you have 4 hours to see them. Yeah. It's difficult to give each person their dose of humanity. How are you going to handle this? So I think it opens a lot of room for discussion.
Wow.
And change.
We've got a few text messages, and you can get your calls in really quickly. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720, and continue to text us, 422-4796. The Slick Book agreed that there is no formal training on bedside manner in medical school. However, depending on the specialty, there is training at the postgraduate level, like in family medicine, which is a primary care specialty which caters to patients in all stages of life.
Agreed. And even sometimes you do palliative care rotations where you definitely get training, which I did experience.
Okay.
But if you don't rotate through that specialty, agreed, that you might not quite get it as formally. And that's not to say that you don't get it at all. You do. But you have to be astute enough to figure out which patterns you should emulate and which patterns you probably should shy away from. So thank you for the feedback.
This texter says here, great topic. I am attending a doctor, and I wanted to have a conversation with the doctor, but I'm not sure what they're saying. Are they saying insulted?
Read it and let's see.
It says insulated. Maybe it means insulted. I'm not too sure. Okay.
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, texter. Yes, palliative care. Yes. So, where can we find this book? And tell us all about that.
Okay. The book is available at the University of the Bahamas bookstore. I'll look at my little notes. The University of the Bahamas bookstore, the Oasis bookstore, and the Miles Monroe Diplomat Center. All Seasons, All Occasions bookshop in Palmdale, and My Wish List in Cable Beach. And of course, the offices where I work at Family Medicine Center and Oncology Consultants Limited.
And Amazon.
Oh, yes, of course. And Amazon, thank you.
So are we going to see more books from you?
I think we're going to see more things.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's see where we go.
Yeah.
We will see where we go.
It's amazing you had the time.
True. That was a question that a lot of people asked, and we'll address at another time.
Okay. But this is a wonderful, wonderful resource, and we're very proud of you and very happy for you, Dr. Christine Parker Curling. Great stuff. Great having you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hopefully we will talk again.
Yes, sir.
Talk again soon. And again, the book is Beyond the Knowledge Power Steps for Doctoring with a Human Touch. Dr. Christine Parker-Curley, thank you again. All right, we're going to break for news and be back with business, talking about the power drainers in your home and what you need to be thinking about, especially in construction as well. We'll be back in just a few. Stay with us.
It may be hot outside, but you can stay cool knowing BOB is backing your summer plans. That's because summer starts with Bank of the Bahamas.
Whether you're paying school fees, planning home improvements, or taking a much-needed vacation, BOB offers the lowest consumer loan rate in the country, and we will beat any rate offered by 1%.
So don't sweat the small stuff. Let BOB help you take care of business so you can get to summer fun. Apply for your BOB summer loan today.
BOB, your bank of solutions.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Free monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back to school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back to school special. Restrictions apply.
Tell them. Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/globalmedicine.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accident Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, August 6th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And this morning we are talking about the biggest energy consumers, the products, the appliances, the electronics in your home that use the most energy, and what to do about it. We've got an expert with us in studio this morning from the Bahamian Contractors Association and from Nailed It right here on Guardian Radio, Debbie Deal. Always great to see you, Debbie. Good morning.
Same here. I just wanted to come here twice today.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You get a good a preview of your show later today.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so everyone's talking about this, especially after that press conference on Tuesday. Consumers are being asked to help with BGC and BPL's problems by consuming less and turning things off, which we've always been talking about, right?
This is nothing new.
Right, nothing new. But we're hearing some interesting talk about what may be draining the electricity, consuming the most energy, and causing problems on the grid. So we've got lots of questions.
Right. Well, they're talking about EVs. So Pia Farmer is the best person to get that information from. But my daughter also has an EV. And you're looking at maybe $25, $30 a month extra on your bill. So, and if you consider the amount of EVs that have actually been sold, I mean, I went to Pia Farmer's grand opening of the Mall Marathon store and her 10th anniversary, and she was talking about how, over the last 10 years, they've sold 1,000 EVs, which is amazing. But I can't imagine that pulling so much energy that it's more than, what did one of your persons who called in this morning say, more than the large construction that's going on? Right. You got to be kidding. All the buildings out west, I mean, there's so many new buildings that have opened up that has to have power to them, that did not have power to them a year ago. Right. I mean, you cannot not consider these things as something that could possibly change the amount of power generation in the country. And then there's more buildings that are actually coming online as well. And again, I told you this offline. To me, if that was the main problem, I would go to Atlantis and Baha Mar and I would give them an incentive if they were to use their generators during peak hours so that they could actually reduce the consumption during those main hours, right? That's what I would do.
And you'd say that to most of the large
and the large
entities.
industries. A lot of there's a lot of insurance companies that have multiple locations, right? Well, also do the same for them. I mean, they have generators. Ask them to do that and give them an incentive. There's so many ways you can actually get what you need if you give back something to get it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that's what I would do. You're asking a homeowner to do what? I mean, I have central air. By the way, I've only had air conditioning in my house for the last 4 years. So, I mean,
I remember you used to be on, you used to say you didn't have it.
Yeah, I
you
never had it, right?
The windows.
Well, and I put in, 219 Sears, and, my bill went up like $17 only for the 2 units because they pull nothing. But if I turn the central air off, the reason I got central air is because I had so much mold and mildew in the house because of all the humidity.
Wow.
So I thought, what am I going to do with this? I can't be washing every single piece of clothing I have, every 3 months because there's mold everywhere. Even if you leave your windows open, the humidity and everything just accumulates on your clothes and stuff. Nobody wants that. So those are the kind of things that, asking us to do that is a little challenging. There must be other things that we can do. And you and I are going to talk about some of the things that we can do.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're going right back to to the Chamber of Commerce's, when I was with them. Remember, we did the Green Initiative?
Right.
Going back to those same 10 videos that tell you all the different ways that you can actually conserve energy and lower your energy bill, right? Save money. And the one example that I still love is my church, right? Where they did an Adopt a Light Bulb program. And it took about a year. They did an inventory of all the lights. And then what they did is they asked us, would you like to adopt a light? Okay, so if you're adopting this light, the bulb is $7. If you're adopting this light, the bulb is $15, right? Some of them are more expensive, especially the ones on the stage. But I mean, they were able to do that. And the bill went from $7,000 a month to $2,500 a month.
Just for changing out
LEDs. The light bulbs to LED. Wow. So it is one of the greatest things that you can actually do that costs the least to actually do. And then I also copied the chart that they have on with LEDs, CFLs, and incandescent, right?
Right.
And you're going to find that, hang on, let me just find it because I saved it for myself. Here we go. So an LED light bulb, here we go. And we're going to go with 15 watts, right? It costs, hang on. It has a lifespan of 50,000 hours.
Mm-hmm.
A CFL, a 20 watt, has a lifespan of 8,000 watts. And the wattage is different because the LEDs use less wattage to get the same amount of,
Right.
So CFLs are 8,000 hours, halogen is 2,000, and incandescent is 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about the money, right, you're looking at cost per year. LED is like $56 a year. CFL is like $80 a year. Halogen is $277 a year, and incandescent is $394 a year.
And you can feel the difference, the heat that those other ones generate versus the LED.
Right.
You can almost
Absolutely.
tell that what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, people say, the light bulbs, LEDs are so expensive. Well, I can go to a store right at Chesapeake and Jerome. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, so that's why I'm just giving a location.
Right.
And you can get a box of 4 for like anywhere between $8 and $10.
And the prices have come down greatly from
Right.
a few years ago.
Right. And the LED bulbs that I have in my house and my property, I have one out back. It's a double light, and I was doing some work for Ed Fields when he was redoing his house with LEDs. Mm-hmm. This had to have been back in 2009, so maybe 17 years, and I've never changed the bulbs ever.
Wow.
I don't even think about them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way that you can actually save some money. And again, you don't have to. I like an incandescent, the look of an incandescent. So when I buy my lights for my house, I buy them with that little bit of a yellow glow to give me the look of an incandescent.
Right.
But I don't have to have changing the light bulb, 3 times a year or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So
and that's, again, as you say, one that we've been talking about for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope people have gotten onto that.
Well, for some reason, some people say, oh, no, the other bulbs are so much cheaper. Well, first of all, BPL needs to take off on their bills. The bill they send out at the bottom, it has a picture of a CFL. Okay? All right. So first of all, we signed on to the Minamata Convention back in 2018, which basically meant that we were going to remove as much mercury out of the Bahamas as possible. And the greatest amount of mercury that was in our country was through CFLs because they're full of mercury.
Yeah.
And, almost two would have these light bulbs, and I do renovations, and then the guys would pretend it's Star Wars, and they've got the 2 bulbs, and they're playing with them, and they have no idea that it's not like a regular thing where everything goes in the air up, it goes down, right? And it's a dangerous thing. So we signed on to that. So most stores that I know don't even sell CFLs any longer.
Yeah.
So, but encouraging them to use a CFL and having that on your bill, you should just change it to an LED light bulb. That would make me feel better.
Absolutely.
Not that anybody cares if I feel better.
And again, just a reminder, you're not supposed to just throw them into the trash.
No, you have to actually take them to the hazardous toxic waste section of the landfill.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a container and they have a crusher. And they're able to actually send everything out from when they crush it. Yes, and then they send it out of the country.
Okay.
I mean,
I have
they've really
a whole box of
expanded.
them at home, so I need to take it down there.
Take it down there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right, you mentioned it earlier, air conditioners. They
Mm-hmm.
are a big drain if you don't have the right ones.
Correct. You can go to, any store, any Higgly Piggly store you want to, and you can buy a split system.
Mm-hmm.
But they're generally 13 SEER. And a 13 SEER does not, it uses a lot of power. A split system, number one, is on all the time, right? It's not like a central air system that kicks in and out, right? But it uses a lot of power, more so than, like, say, a 16 SEER or a 21 SEER.
Yeah.
If you go with like a 19 or 21 SEER, your power bill will be next to nothing. And I have so many people persons that I could give examples of, but I didn't ask if I could use their name on the radio. But when I was with the chamber, there was a couple persons that actually had done that, and they walked me through their house, and their bills were like next to nothing with that. And with a regular a regular air conditioning system that has the air handler in the attic and the condenser outside, right? Same thing with that. If you have a 13 SEER, all you're going to hear is click in, click out, click in, click out, because it always has to do it because it's not performing well in the environment that we're in. But if you have a higher SEER, seldom do you hear that click in and click out. And that creates a huge difference in your bill. Like I mentioned, with those two units that I put in my house, it was only a difference in my bill of $17 because they really don't pull a lot. Plus, I'm not one of those people that keep my thermostat at 70. Mine's at like 76 to 78, and I find that comfortable.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's a good SEER to look for?
The minimum I would even think of doing is the 16 SEER. That would be the minimum. It would be really better. And now all of these energy efficient things are duty free, you know. So you're just paying the VAT on them. Some things might have a 5%, but most of them are duty free. So the other ones are not duty free.
Right.
You know, so you have to pay duty and you have to pay VAT. So it's not really helping you in any way, unless you're able to get a store that maybe says that they're, you know, energy efficient and they're not, and so you don't pay the duty on it. You know, but you know. You never know.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
I'm just saying.
Does that happen? I'm sure it does.
You're not saying that happened.
It's
It's
just
right
a
there.
story. It's a
That's
story.
all.
Okay.
The Bible is just a story. Don't get nervous about it. It's just a story.
All right. So look for the higher SEER, the highest that you can comfortably afford.
Yes.
But the higher, the better.
Because yes, even if it's, let's say 100, right? If your bill goes from, let's say you have your bill goes down $100 and it was way higher, you're getting your money back immediately.
Definitely $100 saving is great.
Immediately. You know, so why not do something like that? The next thing that I think that
Before we move on from AC, just how often should you have them serviced? And does that make a difference?
Every 3 months.
Every
And
3 months?
Yes, and do not do it, because that's how your air conditioning systems will fail.
Oh, wow.
The filter needs to be cleaned, and then you need to have them serviced, especially a central air system, because you know water will accumulate in the drain pan. Sometimes what happens is that green, moldy, mildewy stuff, and then it gets clogged up, and the drain pan will overflow. They actually they come with a vacuum, and they suck all of that out to make sure that you have a nice clean system.
That's for central, but split units as well?
These are cleaned on a regular basis. You could even do that more often if you want to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long for them to get so full of dust, because if the dust is there, what's going to happen is the dust is going to blow back on you.
Yeah.
So why not take it out as often as possible, right? Because especially persons that have problems with asthma and all that kind of stuff, you want to make sure things are as clean as possible.
Absolutely.
The only thing I was going to say about air conditioning was that the isonine that I talk about that goes in the attic, and of course no one is going to want to do that now, but I mean these are things that are the kind of things that reduce your energy consumption considerably. For anybody who has ever lifted up the attic, access piece and moved it over and been knocked off the ladder from the heat coming down, in the Caribbean region or any area that has temperatures like we do, our attic, or I should say that has temperatures that we do, and use asphalt shingles because they're made out of tar, so they absorb the heat as opposed to reflecting the heat. So your attic space is like 140 degrees. So imagine you've got 140 degrees in the attic and your air conditioner's at 70. Okay? So that's a 70-degree difference. Let me give you an idea of a 70-degree difference. 70 degrees, freezing is 32 degrees, right? Add 70 to that, you're 102. That's a huge gap.
My goodness.
Right? So you need to try to keep that as low as possible. So the isonine will reduce your attic to about 85, 87 degrees, which is kind of normal. So the difference is less. You also, when you have it the higher, what'll happen is you're going to end up with condensation on your ceiling, and a lot of people don't realize that they do get that, right?
Wow.
One of the things that you can actually do that isn't that expensive and could be done quickly is instead of using a hot water heater, like, a regular hot water heater, I always forget the name of them, a tankless water heater, or they call them point of use.
Right.
And it basically, as you turn on the hot water tap, the hot water comes in. You turn it off, it stops. So it unless you're on and off with hot water all day long, your bill should be next to nothing. Because most people will shower in the morning, so it'll click in on the morning, and you're fine with that. And then maybe, if you have a dishwasher, it has to have hot water. But if you do your actual dishes by hand, God forbid I do, but some people don't do that. You use Dawn detergent, you can use cold water,
Yeah.
and that way you don't have to use hot water to do your dishes, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me if I use hot or cold. And I refuse to use hot water doing my laundry because the hot water sets stains. So what's the point in using that and setting stains in your clothes?
Right.
I have enough
Wow,
trouble with
okay.
my vinegar and bleach and all these things that I use to try to get stains out, right?
So you recommend the tankless water heaters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know people are a little
Well,
mixed on it.
in the beginning, I think there was challenges with them, and another thing, if you're using a well water, you might have to be a little bit more careful because all of the calcium buildup might not work, you know. But if you're on city water, you should be fine because their water is reverse osmosis water, so it's not going to have any bad effect on that.
Did tankless about 3 years ago. And
Do you like it?
It's been fine.
Yeah?
The only issue is when the power goes off and it's cold water. But right?
Oh.
But it's usually you're hot and sweaty, so you might as well take a cold shower.
Well, there's one way to look at it.
Right. But yeah, it's been great. It's been
Yeah,
great.
so those are things that are simple things. And then again, this is something you could do now. You know what I mean? It might cost you $400 or $500. You could get a more expensive one for like $7. I think that's the maximum I've ever seen whenever I purchase them. And then you just get your plumber and electrician to hook them up for you.
It's just understanding the size of the one that you need based on, right? The number of bathrooms and how much you're going to be doing with hot water. So once you figure that out,
once you figure that out, even when you go to the store, you could tell them this is how much.
Right,
Or
right.
you could ask your best friend.
Google helps you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they'll be able to tell you which one would be the best to
Right.
do. And I think that would save a lot of money. Between that and LED light bulbs, you should be able to reduce your energy consumption by a considerable amount.
Yeah.
So
the phone lines are lit up and the text line is hot too, but we got a lot to get through. Well, what are some of the other things that people need to keep in mind? And then we got some specific questions for you too.
Okay. Well, for some reason, everybody, and I used to do it too, you have a coffee maker. You keep it plugged in all the time. And it has a clock on it generally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything in the house has a clock on it, right? You don't really have to keep your coffee maker plugged in because anything that has a little clock on it and anything that heats up is going to, it's better not to keep it plugged in.
Right.
A toaster as well. Not that you're using it, but why plug it in if you're not going to use it?
Yeah.
Why plug it in? Because truthfully, how it works, BPL sends power to your house. It goes to the meter, and then it goes to a on-off switch, and then it goes to a panel in your house, right? And that panel in your house represents outlets, switches, lights, appliances. But even if you have a bunch of lamps plugged in, the power still goes to the lamp.
Are you going around your house unplugging all the lamps though, Debbie?
I don't do it, but I'm just saying you have to
Because
consider.
I'm about to. I'm listening and I'm like, should I get up now and unplug my toaster?
No, I just want people to understand that if you were to have that lamp, this is a bad example of a way to know that that's happening.
Yeah.
If you have a lamp plugged in but turned off, and you were to cut that wire, you would get shocked.
Oh, wow.
power goes there, is all I'm
Whoa,
saying. So always just consider what are the bigger power things that are being used.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the smaller ones, but I mean, just, be careful,
Yeah. So I started unplugging the coffee maker because there was a surge and it killed my previous coffee maker.
Yes.
So I learned my lesson. Those things,
Yeah.
I definitely
And put a surge protector on your refrigerator. And if you
Yes.
have a freezer,
And
do that
microwave
as
too,
well.
right?
And microwave as well. Televisions, computers, have one in your office to make sure that you have surge protectors because they also help you, like I think BPL use surge protectors as opposed to lightning rods. And then, of course, every house and every building has a ground rod anyways because we have to do that for our electrical supply. So that keeps us grounded. But then again, you still don't want to just chance it and then all of a sudden your computer's gone and you work from home and all of a sudden now you've got to go out and buy a computer, try to find all the information that was on it that you did not save, all the good stuff that we we as humans do, right?
Laverne, you were saying something?
No, I was saying, really, you're unplugging not to really conserve power.
Both.
Well, the main thing is
you just tied
And
on
conserve
now
money because I don't have to buy another one.
Yeah.
It's all of the above. All of the above.
It's all the above. And the same
Yeah,
with
I
the
need to
dryer.
get
I
some
have
surge protectors.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, surge protectors are amazing. With the clothes dryer,
Yes, this is
the
a
only
big
thing
one.
I use my clothes dryer for is sheets and towels. Everything else I hand dry.
Really?
Yeah. I just can't do it. And then what another thing that people don't do
But the
is
dryer uses a lot of power, right?
it uses a lot of power.
Yeah, let's talk about it because people talk about the cars, but I was Googling it and it's comparable.
It is because it heats up,
Mhm.
and it's not with a dryer, at least mine anyway. I can't.
And this is the electric dryers.
An electric dryer.
Right.
I can't change
I
to
have a gas
not
dryer.
hot, really hot. You know what I
Right,
mean? I
right,
can't
right.
change that temperature. So whatever the temperature is, but a lot of people will pull out the vent thing and clean off the lint and everything.
Mhm.
But you really need to get a vacuum that has a really tiny hose and go in that
Oh boy.
and vacuum out the lint. Because what happens is that just settles in there. And when it gets settled in there, it takes longer to dry your
Oh,
clothes.
wow. Mhm.
So if you wonder why, how come it's taking me an hour now and it only used to take me 15 or 20 minutes? You've got lint buildup in that. And even the hose that goes outside,
Right.
you could even do the same thing with that. You could vacuum out all the stuff that's in that.
Yeah.
And that would actually reduce your cost considerably.
Okay, so Laverne, I heard you. You have a gas dryer. It's a big difference in the amount of electricity the gas dryers use versus the electric dryers.
Oh, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't have a gas dryer, so I don't know.
Yeah. So if you Google it, kilowatts, and so it makes a big difference. It's because it's just turning it on. Basically, that's all the power does with the gas dryer.
It would cost you less money with a gas dryer.
Right.
Right. So if you were to convert, or you can't convert, you have to just buy a new one and go with,
So I've been doing lots of experiments.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know very soon.
You know
how
what some
this
people
works.
do too? Some
Very
people
soon.
have a family, let's say a family of 4, 2 kids, a husband, a wife, and you're doing the dark load, so you throw in all the jeans at one time. Well, no. You can't do that. Well, you could do that, but it'll take a long time.
Yeah.
Because
It takes longer to dry when you do that.
Yes, I know it does. So it's
Yeah.
better to put your towels and maybe 2 pairs of jeans or something like that.
Right, mix
but,
it.
Yeah, but I just find for me, and again, I'm a family of one. My kids are all grown and have their own families and their own kids and their own things to deal with. So I do laundry. Well, I do laundry at least once a week, and I do whites and darks. So I mean,
Hanging out the clothes. Oh boy.
Well, I don't hang them outside.
Oh.
I have a dryer that, you unfold it, you can put it on the porch if you want to, and you just put everything there, and within about an hour or two, they're dry.
Yeah.
Take them inside. Yeah. Yeah.
Dwight, we have to go back to those days.
No, you don't have to. But I mean, these are just kind of
But that's a
things
good
that-
idea for those who
things
can
that
do it.
I do,
just can't bring myself to do it.
So
You can't
But
bring
no,
yourself
no,
to
that's-
hang
that's
out
okay.
clothes anymore.
And I don't even know if I'm allowed to in my neighborhood. I'm not too sure. I don't even know. I'm not
Same
sure.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I could go through all of the video. Actually, what I would like people to do, and you just have to understand that when we did these 12 videos, IDB gave us a grant to make these videos, and there's 12 of them. and it goes through all the different things that you can do. It goes through the refrigerator because, that's one thing I should talk about too. If you already have one, you're not going to do that right now because you're later. But when you buy a refrigerator, there's a little plaque at the top of it on the inside, and it'll tell you if it's a 5 amp, a 6 amp, or a 10 amp refrigerator.
Okay.
And you shouldn't buy anything more than a 6 amp, to be honest. A 10 amp refrigerator, think about this. If you have a 150 amp service, right? And your refrigerator is a 10 amp piece of equipment, 1/10 of that, of your entire 150, is used only for your refrigerator. And it's used 24/7 till you replace it, and then it goes 24/7 again because it's a constant running piece of equipment.
So you need to look for the one with the lowest number amp?
Yes, the lowest number amp.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can ask your best friend, Google that as well. They'll be able to tell you which brands and all that kind of stuff to get. Because a lot of people will say, well, it doesn't really matter because I don't use the fridge. I don't open and close it all that much. And, it doesn't matter. It's not going to pull a lot of electricity. Some people only have a 100 amp. Some people only have a 60 amp. If you were building a house back in the 70s and 80s, you may only have a 60 amp house. So that means 10 of that is used. You only have 50 more amps for the rest of your house. Think about it, if you look at your breakers for your air conditioners, they're probably 20 amps, right? Your dryer is probably a 15 or a 20 amp. You add 3 or 4 of those up, and you don't have any more power left over. And people you don't understand because why would you? I kind of know this kind of stuff. I'm not an electrician either, don't get me wrong. But I do know the amperages and the things that you really should use and what you shouldn't. You should look out because people get all excited. They go into a store and they see this beautiful brushed stainless steel fridge, and it has the top part and a beautiful drawer in the bottom, and it's only like $1,400, and it's like a 30-inch or a 32-inch, so it's a big fridge. I can guarantee you it'll be at least a 10 amp, and I could almost guarantee you as well that the door is not insulated.
Wow.
Because there are countries that actually make them for export only, and because we buy that kind of stuff, we're going to get a fridge with a door that's not insulated, so it's going to your fridge is going to have to work harder because it doesn't have that sealed, insulated door, which you need. You should be able to open your fridge and have a cool air shoot at you, not open your door and have to feel for the cool air. And a lot of people get burnt that way.
Well,
so these are things that nobody's going to tell you that kind of stuff. The person who's selling it to you may not even know, but these are the kind of questions that you should ask. You know what I mean? We would ask those things. Let's say you're going to the hairdresser, right? And you're going to ask the person, well, all right, I would like to have my hair perm, but what kind of stuff are you going to use to damage my hair, or is it not going to damage my hair? What kind of things am I going to have to do? You would ask those questions there. We need to start asking questions in things that might be mundane, but they're things that will actually make your life better.
Yeah. So Energy Star, if you find it,
Yes.
that makes a big difference too. Look for that when it comes to your refrigerator and
Yes.
all of your appliances.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So what about televisions? Are these using a lot of power? And so many people with multiple flat screens in their home, does it make a difference?
That's one thing I've never looked at, but I can't imagine them taking a lot of power because they don't heat up. Have you ever gone to
They don't feel too hot.
to your
Not-
TV and touched it? It's not hot.
Unlike the plasma TVs back in the day, you could cook food on them. but they were beautiful.
Yeah,
They were beautiful.
And you know what? You might have 4 or 5 TVs in the house, but you're at work in the daytime. Kids are at school. When would you use it?
Right.
Maybe 2 hours in the evening or something like that. You might have a housekeeper that may watch TV or have the TV on for noise or music or something when the person's working. But I mean, it's not a.
Hopefully 5 of them aren't on at the same time.
Well, it depends. If you don't like each other in the family, yes, you might have all on it. I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Okay, so we can take some calls.
Yeah,
And we'll get to the text messages. We're talking with Debbie Deal, host of Nailed It, also with the Bahamian Contractors Association, a contractor, a great friend to Guardian Radio. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. Yes. Look, couple observations. I know when I used to cut up my water
heater, well, I used to cut the breaker off in the summertime, was reduced tremendously. And I keep procrastinating. I was supposed to put a timer on it. The wife likes hot water, and I can bathe with cold or neutral. But the other hand is, on the other side, I went and I bought a 2-ton ductless, 21 SEER, installed it. Come to find out, my power supply for my house is only getting 208, and I need 220 to run that ductless unit. I was trying to be proactive, not cutting on my central air, so I contacted BPL, about the power issue, and they sent somebody to investigate, and they said I need more power from the transformer. Okay. So then contacted a manager, came and assessed it, and they told me the transformer is overloaded. I wouldn't be able to tap into it anymore. I live in Angliston area, so I had to convert back to my central air, pay $200 to get it serviced. It's working. My BPL bill for the month of June was $1,800.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Why? That's
July
ridiculous.
was
How big is your house?
526.
How big is your house?
Pardon?
How big is your house?
Well, I live in an apartment, fourplex, and I in one unit.
For all the units or just your unit?
No, just me.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I said they must be estimating for the year, and finally came and do the meter reading.
Well, you can check your meter reading on your bill, and you can check your meter reading do every month. I go out and check my own meter just to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And the bills, by the way, are now the 26th
They tell me I can't
forever.
get no more power supply
Well,
from the.
They would have to
the,
put in a larger transformer in that area is what they would actually have to do.
So did you swap out the central, or were you adding on to what you had already?
No.
You were.
Wow. You might have to sell that and do on Mama's Market or something like that. Sell it and then buy
What, you
another
mean the-
one. Buy
the
another
ductless?
one, and then buy another one that is the 208 or the 220.
I bought it for just under $1,100, and I sold it for $800, so I lost about $300.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You know, so there's no win situation because definitely BPL tell me I can't get. They're not changing the transformer no time soon.
Wow. I have a huge house, and my bill is never that high. Ever. I would have to kill myself if I got an $1,800 bill.
Have you done an energy audit? You got somebody, not BPL, but somebody to come in there to look and see what's what and what can be done?
Well, I know what I need to do. I need to take out my 3-pane windows and put in hurricane windows to keep the air, because air keep escaping through the windows. So
Yeah,
they don't
you need
seal
insulated. You need insulated windows.
What was your bill for July? Did you get your bill for July's yet? I think you said June was 18.
Yes.
No,
July was 526.
We haven't.
July was 526.
Is it
Okay.
July?
Okay.
Well, you mean June? Because I don't think we have the July yet.
I got mine.
I'm sorry. June was,
I did not.
18. July was 526.
Okay.
But the month before
So there
that
was
was
a drastic
1,800.
difference.
That's crazy.
The month before that, there was no air conditioning.
Hope you get it sorted out. Thank you for calling. Sorry to hear
Yeah.
about all that. Wow, that's crazy. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, caller. Hi. No? Okay. I've got some text messages here. This person says here, what did you say before? What SEER your central is?
Mine are 19.
Okay. This texter says here, I was told that high SEER air conditioners are very sensitive to power surges and have high rates of board failure.
Oh, I've never had a problem with the air conditioner itself, but yes, they do. That's why I said to you, put on a surge protector.
Yeah.
You can put in a whole house surge protector, and then you can put in individual ones as well.
Okay.
So you could get your electrician to put on a whole house surge protector. We basically have to do this.
Yeah.
Because we never know what's going to happen with our power, and we don't know how clean our power is that we're actually getting as well.
Scary. This person says here, I live alone on a family island, but came home for summer. I've unplugged everything except the refrigerator, but my BPL bill is higher this month than last. Is there any insight for something like this?
I think it's the fuel usage that they're actually using. And if you look at your bill, I think the last two lines are, one is like 17 and the other one is like 22. And before it used to be 20. So it's gone up a bit. Yeah.
Oh, my.
At least that's I should say, I don't want to get in trouble for saying something wrong. I can only consider that they must be using a different fuel to actually charge us the higher fuel rate, or because of how much BPL are actually paying for their fuel either. So if their fuel costs are higher, we have no choice but to pay the higher amounts, right?
Well, again, the last few months, the bill, 2/3 of the bill's been towards fuel.
Yes.
So it's obviously the problem.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
This person says that we don't need any more advice on how to reduce electricity. We just want to know how the cars aren't overloading BPL. Oh, boy. Okay. Well,
they aren't. If
They aren't.
If you read is it in the paper? Pia's letter?
It was yesterday, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. If you read the letter yesterday from Letter to the Editor, it was written by Pia Farmer. She and her husband own Easy Car Sales, and you're going to see that's the information that they're giving you is totally incorrect. $30.
But again, it's only one person who said that, and nobody said it, and then it just is just bizarre. It's just bizarre, and we need the government to make a statement, to say something.
We do, because I can't believe that the government or the party would want to push all of these green things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it for greenhouse gas emissions, right? To keep us lower,
Yeah.
right? And also to help
Always talking about carbon
climate
credits and
change
climate
all
change,
this
yeah.
kind of stuff. And climate change is alive and well and right in the Bahamas like now. Because don't think that next year it's going to be cooler. It's not. This is going to be the new norm. We have to get ready for this now.
Yeah.
But
Right, as you said, you can't be pushing that and then all of a sudden come and say
yeah, it doesn't
EVs
make sense.
are the problem.
And the government has bought many of the EVs from them for their fleets, right? So that they just plug in. They don't have to worry about fuel. They don't have to worry about these, giving persons whatever it is for gas stipends and all that kind.
Yeah.
My daughter also has an electric truck, and she has never ever complained about her bill being higher. Maybe $20, $30. That's about it. But I guess if you were like a salesman and you were driving back and forth and you were from Lyford Key back to East 3 or 4 times a day, then maybe it might go up a little bit because you'd have to charge it more often.
Right.
But most people, I think, only charge their car maybe
Once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We can squeeze this call in really quickly. Yes, really quickly. Really quick. You got 30 seconds, caller. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
I just wanted to share a story with you guys. I was recently moved in the Western area, gated community in the Western area. And when I was building my home, what I did was I insulated my roof.
Mm-hmm.
1. 2, I bought a 2 16-cell units.
Mm-hmm.
3, everything in my house was LED. Now,
Perfect.
at the time, my wife didn't understand because she didn't really care about the whole LED thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I put everything LED right down. If I could have changed the light in my Ring doorbell to LED, that would have been LED. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Everything
Dedicated
was
soul.
LED. Now, my units used to be on 24/7. They never turn off. My refrigerator was a smart refrigerator, but it was energy efficient. Everything I had was energy efficient.
Mm-hmm.
My bill, the BPL,
Mm-hmm.
the lowest I've had in my bill in my home was literally 3,000 square feet. My bill to BPL 1 month, I remember, was literally $125. Kid you not.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand that. I get that.
$125.
Mhm.
It's to the point where I even had a submersible pump in my yard to supplement
I do too.
the water from the water association where we was getting water from.
So,
I
okay,
even had my own-
what time of year would that 125 bill have been?
That would have been, I would think that would have been like February, was that low. Because I was probably figuring that BPL may have made a mistake or something like that. They actually came to my home like 3-4 times
Mm-hmm.
just to keep checking my bill. And the next bill that came out was literally $250.
So what's the highest bill you see, like in the summer?
The highest bill I've had on my home, I kid you not, was literally $842.
Wow.
Because everything my central, I stay on 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure I got impact windows, and I make sure they were insulated so you couldn't escape. And then my ceiling, like I say, was insulated from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere I went insulated. So the cold air, I never had to adjust my AC. So once they turn it on and I set it, I normally just leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you know what? We need to hear more stories like that.
I mean, I think the
because
850 is a little high, but okay, but
850 is
that's
high,
good.
but still,
yeah, but
yeah.
But thank you very much. I've heard of people who've done the same thing he's done.
Mhm.
I mean, that's my bill in the winter as well.
Right.
And I'm 3/4 of the way there.
Yes.
3/4. But I've heard people with bills well under 100,
Right.
and
I
they
have-
don't have solar.
Yeah,
so
I have
it's possible.
I have a pool pump as well, though, and I have a submersible pump because if you have a pump above the ground, people steal them, but they're hard to steal when they're in the ground. So those things, they pull. There's nothing I can really do to
Yeah.
reduce those, unfortunately.
Okay, Debbie, we're out of time, but you're going to be
No
back this
way.
evening at 6:30.
I will.
With Nailed It, and I'm sure you and Leonard are going to be great this evening. Looking forward to it. Thank you
Yes,
for being
me too.
here. Always
You're
great
welcome.
advice.
I
people
hope
are
I
listening.
some good advice.
Good
I hope
stuff.
someone helps. It helps someone.
You helped
Absolutely.
me with the amps.
Yeah.
The amps, I thank you.
Wonderful.
Very
You're
good
welcome.
advice.
All
Bahamian
right.
Contractors Association, Debbie Deal, thank you again.
You're welcome.
And we'll
Thank
listen
you
to you
for
tonight.
inviting me. It's always a pleasure.
And Laverne, thank you so much, as always.
Always a pleasure.
I'll talk with you again next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Glam Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. You should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble, sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
New school year, new gear. From uniforms to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of it to back to school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our global medicine program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global medicine.
New school year to laptops, a Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back to school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Sunshine financing for a ting-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, hey. When you need that money, car home vacation every. Don't be profiling in this party. What? I want that 000. I grind on there 'cause I got no money. You only hear me, eh? You better go by Sunshine Finance and ask them for the 000 promotion.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.